My name is Ellen Jefferson, and I'm the Executive Director of Austin Pets Alive. I actually moved to Austin in 1998. I'm a veterinarian. I started volunteering at the city shelter, which was Town Lake Animal Center at that time. I was blown away by the fact that they were at that point killing 85% of the animals that came into the city shelter. I didn't feel like my skills were being used as well as they could have as a veterinarian, so I felt, because the animals still were dying at the shelter, no matter what I did, so I started a spay and neuter clinic, and the idea behind that was to do mass spay neuter in the community, or sterilization of pets, so that fewer would be born, fewer would go to the shelter, and fewer would be killed. I really thought that spay neuter was the answer, and that we were going to get all the way to no kill by simply doing enough spay neuter in the community. And by 2007, we were still killing 14,000 animals a year, and the euthanasia rate was at about 50%, so it became pretty obvious that we needed to do more. And that's why I got involved with Austin Pets Alive and became the volunteer executive director in 2008 to try to launch the programs that were missing in the community to save these lives. Austin Pets Alive's mission, when we first started, basically was to make Austin a no-kill city as fast as humanly possible. And the way that we approached that was by examining which animals were dying and seeing if there were groups of animals that were consistently dying year after year. And it turns out there definitely were groups of animals that there were no programs at all in the community to help save them. And so that's really where Austin Pets Alive and our focus was trying to create those programs so that we could be the safety net for those groups of animals. And then by conquering one group at a time, we can get all the way up to a 90% save rate. Because if 50% of the animals are saved, and then you have another 10 to 15% that are dying, there's no good reason that they're dying, they're just out of time, they've got bad luck. Maybe it's a huge litter of puppies and half of them get adopted and then the other half get killed because they just ran out of time. And then there's another portion that is animals with minor problems like mange and ringworm. And then as you keep going up the pyramid of life-saving, there's a group of orphan animals, the ones that come in that are way too young to be saved, and in most traditional shelters. So they need bottle feeding, they need intensive care, they need round-the-clock care, and traditional shelters just can't deal with that. And so in Austin, that translated to about 1,200 kittens a year that were dying just because they were too young. And so that's a group that we focused on. And then the very last piece of no-kill, the hardest group to save, are the animals that have more chronic problems or more severe problems where they need maybe lifelong care or management to be able to make it through and get out of the shelter alive, get into a home, and then be cared for the rest of their lives. Austin Pets Alive's mission was to make Austin a no-kill city as fast as humanly possible. And in 2011, we accomplished that goal, and now our mission is focused on keeping it that way. Every single effort that everybody does in this organization makes a measurable impact on lives saved. If any one of our programs failed or stopped being in existence, and most of them are run by volunteers, if any one of those went away, we would see a measurable decrease in the save rate immediately, because those programs are intimately tied to the 90% save rate. In 2008, Austin Pets Alive had no funds, no facility, and no staff. We did everything because of volunteers and foster homes. And now we've gotten to a point where we have a building, short-term, that we're leasing from the city. We have some staff, but we still heavily rely on volunteers. Over 50% of our jobs, if you will, are volunteer-filled, and 2/3 of our animals are in foster homes. The beauty of volunteering with Austin Pets Alive is that we have so much opportunity for volunteers. We have so much need for volunteers that a volunteer can come and do anything from walking a dog once a week, or petting the cats and giving them enrichment once a week, all the way up to filling gaps in programs. Because we're all so new, we're still figuring it out. We're still growing this innovative organization. And when people have a good idea of what we're missing or what could be better, often our answer when they bring that to us is, great, we need a leader for that. You step up and do it, and we'll help you find volunteers, we'll flesh out the team, and then that program can get off and run. As new volunteers come in, we're looking for people to step up into leadership positions. We're looking for people to roll up their sleeves and get down and help us save these animals. It's a lot of work. We don't have all the resources we need. We don't have all the funds to hire staff like we wish we could. And so we rely on volunteers to fill that gap, just like our mission says. And get these animals out of kill shelters and into homes.